A young, skittish fox named Felix caught his leg in a poacher's trap on the edge of the Whispering Woods. Limping and desperate, he stumbled into a territory he would normally avoid. The clearing of a powerful, solitary badger known for a fierce temper, named Beatrice. Beatrice heard his whimpers. Her instinct was to drive the intruder out. Foxes were trouble. But seeing his injury and his fear, a different impulse took over. She didn't snarl. She slowly approached and used her strong claws to carefully pry the trap open, freeing him. Too weak to leave, Felix stayed at the edge of Beatrice's clearing. She began leaving out extra food, berries, grubs, a piece of fruit. They didn't cuddle or play. They simply shared a space, a silent agreement of mutual respect forming between predator and a solitary creature. The other animals watched in disbelief. The jays mocked them, calling Beatrice a fox napper and Felix a parasite. The alliance broke the natural order of the woods, and it made everyone uneasy. Their friendship was a quiet rebellion. A terrible storm hit the woods. After it passed, Beatrice found a lone, shivering fawn, its mother nowhere to be found. Without a second thought, she led it back to her den. Now she had two unlikely charges, a fox and a deer. An unspoken system developed. Felix, now healed, became the scout and lookout with his keen senses and speed. The fawn, named Bramble, was the gentle presence that calmed them. Beatrice was the protector, the stronghold. They were a family. They learned to communicate without sounds. A flick of Felix's tail meant danger. A low grunt from Beatrice meant stay close. A soft nudge from Bramble was a question. They had created a new language of care. The real threat arrived not with teeth and claws, but with roaring machines. Humans with loggers began cutting down trees at the edge of the woods, coming closer every day. The entire forest was in panic. The deer herd tried to flee deeper into the woods, but there was nowhere to go. The rabbits hid, but their burrows trembled. The hawks could only watch from above. Traditional strategies were useless against this threat. Beatrice decided something had to be done. She did the unthinkable. She sent Felix as her emissary to call a summit of all the animal tribes, predators and prey alike. The meeting place was her clearing. Wolves stood near rabbits. Owls perched above mice. The air was thick with tension and fear. They were natural enemies, gathered together for the first time. Beatrice, with Felix by her side, proposed a plan. It combined the strengths of all species. The birds would act as aerial scouts, tracking the loggers' movements. The small, burrowing animals would work to weaken the soil around the biggest machines. The larger animals would create diversions. The plan was insane. It required absolute trust. But faced with annihilation, the animals agreed. The fox vouched for the badger. The rabbit trusted the hawk's eyes. The old stereotypes shattered in the face of a common enemy. The next day, the plan went into action. A pack of wolves howled from the north, drawing the loggers' attention. Meanwhile, mice and rabbits chewed through wires and dug holes near the tires of the bulldozers. As a logger approached a mighty oak, 100 birds descended as one, creating a terrifying, shrieking cloud in his face. Squirrels dropped nuts on the machinery. It was chaos, but it was coordinated chaos. The humans, bewildered and spooked by the unnatural cooperation of the animals, decided the woods were too much trouble and packed up their machines and left. The forest was saved.